As you guys probably are well aware of, Season of Discovery has been an absolutely massive success so far. All across Azeroth, people have been out looking for runes, forming new guilds, and just falling in love with Classic World of Warcraft all over again. And it seems like Blizzard has been having a great time too, just judging from the tweets that we've seen. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. You guys, hopefully, are happy. Blizzard seems happy. Season of Discovery is great. The hidden runes, the crates, the new quests, the new raid, PvP in Ashenvale, and so on and so forth. But the question is, this is just Season 1 of Season of Discovery. What about Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4? How can Blizzard continue on this streak of success? How can they continue to make Season of Discovery better and better in the future? So I've compiled 10 simple suggestions that I think would make Season of Discovery really cool and that much better in the future. Some of them are going to be very simple. I've saved the best for last, of course. Guys, let's dive in. And of course, these are all just my ideas, and if you guys have any suggestions for Season of Discovery, dude, now is the time to say it, okay? Blizzard is paying attention to the community, obviously, and so leave a comment. Before we get into my suggestions, though, do have to give a quick shout out to Zygor, this channel's sponsor. If you are looking for the ultimate leveling, achievement collecting, gold making, pet, mount collecting add-on in World of Warcraft, it don't matter what you want, what kind of player you are, Zygor is World of Warcraft's ultimate add-on. Everyone's using it, from Esfand to Bajheera to Nixxiom, for what that's worth. Zygor is linked down below in the description. Use code Nixxiom for 20% off. Number 1, more items being added to the game. In the spirit of Season of Discovery, one of the things that Blizzard should do is just add more items into the game that can be found. New swords, new armor, new whatever. One thing in particular that I especially would love to see them add into Season of Discovery is more set items. And I've talked about this in multiple videos throughout the years, which is why I'm making this the first point, because many of you guys have probably heard this rant before. But more set items being added to the game. Everybody loves, for example, the Druid of the Fang set, the Defias set, the Scarlet Crusader set from SM. People love item sets in MMOs. Why not bring some item sets to low-level crafting? If you complete the whole Copper Chain Vest outfit, maybe you get like +1 stamina or something. Maybe there's item sets hidden in the open world, in Elwyn Forest, in Westfall, in Loch Modan. It doesn't have to be in the starting zones necessarily, but in Silverpine Forest, Loch Modan and stuff, maybe you can find a piece of a set that one piece drops off of mobs in the open world, one piece needs to be crafted by a crafter, like a leather worker or something, another piece can be found in a dungeon like Dead Mines, and then completing this set gets you a really cool bonus. Items and that sort of pursuit of new items is one of the things that really motivates adventure in Classic World of Warcraft. So adding more items to find in the world would be really cool, especially really flavorful items. Blizzard could just go all out with their sets and the bonuses that they could offer. Obviously, you don't want to make them too crazy because they're just, you know, low-level sets, but more items to be found in the game to inspire that sort of sense of going out and crafting and engaging with the community, like, hey, where do I find the shoes for this set, you know? Whatever. So that's my first idea. The second idea that I have is actually not really my idea, but it's a criticism that some people have been bringing up, which I don't necessarily know if I agree with this, but one of the criticisms that I've seen popping up on my YouTube channel in the comment sections is because of the rune system and because of the new abilities that we're getting in Season of Discovery, the world feels a little bit easier than it should. You know, Classic WoW, it's not like the world is like insanely dangerous. I mean, it's not Dark Souls, but Classic WoW does have that element of, hey, the world ain't no joke. You gotta pay attention. You don't want to be pulling too many mobs at the same time. Classic is not retail. And some of the criticisms that people have brought up is that, you know, giving that Paladin Crusader strike and, you know, Seal of the Martyr and just whatever is making the world a little too easy. In my opinion, I don't know if I fully agree with that, but, you know, I'm also at the same time completely open to the idea of Classic WoW being buffed a little bit. Not necessarily in just increasing mob health and increasing their damage, but maybe taking a step towards the idea of giving mobs in the game in future, you know, Season 2 zones of Season of Discovery, maybe giving those mobs a little extra bite instead of just bark in giving them new abilities. Maybe warlocks in Felwood, whereas before they would just wail on you with their staff and then occasionally cast a shadow bolt, give them an immolate that they can cast on you. Maybe a wolf in a zone can howl and it can fear you and stuff. I don't know, maybe bringing a little bit of more danger into the world. I mean, it really can't hurt. At least I don't think so. What do you guys think? Number 3. Now this is something that's my idea, okay? This did not come from any comment section. One of the things that I would love to see in Season of Discovery is discoverable runes that give to you new talent trees, or rather, discoverable runes that give to you entirely new talent options. Let me give you an example. You're playing a warrior, and as you're going through Stormwind, you find a book on swordsmanship, right? Swinging a sword better, different combat techniques, whatever. You read this book, and by doing so, you unlock an entirely new talent option for your arms warrior tree that is maybe, like a 5 out of 5 thing that slowly maybe increases your crit with swords as you spec into it. Maybe as a shaman, for example, you find some sort of secret place hidden in Feralus, and by discovering this location and gathering the power of the spirits that are located there, you get this new talent option to maybe spec into improved chain heal, improved, healing touch, whatever. Your heals are improved because you're more in communion with the spirits or something. Don't just give us new spells to potentially play with and customize, but also give us more talent options that we can play with and customize. That would be interesting. It would be a complete nightmare to balance, but at the same time, it would be really cool being able to really craft your character into the character that you truly want them to be. Number 4, discoverable runes that just alter already existing spells instead of just giving us new spells. Back in the day when Blizzard first announced Inscription in Wrath of the Lich King, one of the things that they said was that Inscription was just going to alter already existing spells. One of the examples that they gave was the idea that Pyroblast actually has a knockback effect. And I think that Blizzard could bring this idea back with Season of Discovery, giving you the option to maybe alter a select number of spells, maybe 3 or 4 or something, and giving to them new powers and new abilities. A mage might find a book located in a mage tower that alters their Pyroblast ability, if they want to do this, where Pyroblast takes even longer to cast, but it fires at 3 targets instead of just 1. Combine that with Presence of Mind in the Arcane Talent Tree, that would be pretty cool. You could even have an ability alteration thing where when a paladin bubbles, it's like a burst of light, and so all the enemies, surrounding the paladin, they get blinded for a few seconds because boom, the bubble pops. So it's just a way of doing a little bit of, crowd control as well as, protecting yourself. So, but whatever, you could really go all out with these abilities. I just think it would be cool to bring back that original idea of Inscription and bring it into Season of Discovery. Number 5. More class quests. People love class quests in Classic WoW, and you can never go wrong with adding more of them. Right now, for example, I am on the class quest as a paladin to get my level 20 blue hammer, and it's been a lot of fun doing dead mines, traveling to Loch Madan. I'm going to be streaming me doing SFK here soon to get the hammer piece. It's cool, dude. I even have to go into Ashenvale, the world PvP zone, to get a gem from the frickin' elite mobs right outside the new raid. So this is going to be a little bit of a pain to do, but it's fun. People love class quests, man. And I don't see why Blizzard can't maybe add some more into the future with Season of Discovery. Maybe have a class quest every 5 levels instead of every 10 levels. And as we all know, some classes, you get a couple of class quests in the beginning, for the first maybe 30 levels or something, and then it kind of trickles out. And then, you don't really have any more class quests to do. So, maybe making it so that every class is guaranteed to have a new class quest every 10 levels, that would be neat. Number 6. This one as well is very simple, but just add new quests to the game. There are some places in World of Warcraft Classic that are obviously not finished. Ajara, Tanaris, for example. And there are also some areas that you wish that more quests existed in that zone, but unfortunately, they don't. An example would be like Silverpine Forest, one of my favorite zones, but there's really not a lot of questing content there. I mean, there's some, but it doesn't feel like there's enough. So maybe adding more quests to familiar zones would be cool, and not like a lot, not like adding a dozen new quests per zone or something. but just a few every now and then that you can do on the side. As long as the new quests don't create some sort of linear path in the zones, and the quests are very classic in nature, that, oh, it's going to send you off here and you're going to be collecting some stuff here, and you're really going to be going on an adventure, I think adding new quests would be awesome. Number 7, new zones. New quests, new zones. Obviously, like, this is something that everybody wants, including me. There is that whole little hidden zone in northern Lordaeron called Northeron, as some people have called it. I don't know if that's officially its lore name, but if you were to go there, there's just the old high elf ruins just sitting on that one little area, next to the ocean. You know what I'm talking about. Why not expand it? Really make it a brand new zone that players can go to. Bring Gilneas into Classic WoW. I mean, why not? Blizzard could bring us a new zone maybe every 2 seasons of Season of Discovery. And then when Blizzard maybe decides to do Season of Discovery 2.0, where they reset it all and they do this all again, they can have everything that they had in the original Season of Discovery, including those new zones, and then they can add even more zones in this second playthrough of SOD. I mean, I don't know, like just more new zones being added into Classic WoW would be really cool. The only thing is capturing the Classic WoW art style might be a little difficult for the current Blizzard artists because, let's be real, technology has changed a lot, and trying to create some low polygon, low textured objects in a new zone would be a little tricky, but I don't know. If Turtle WoW can do it, I don't see why Blizzard can't do it. Number 8. So here's the thing. At BlizzCon, Blizzard told us about Season of Discovery, and they told us about a lot of things that were coming with this new installment to Classic WoW. We knew about the rune system. We knew about the new raid. We knew about the PvP zone. But the thing is that when SOD came out, we didn't know about, for example, the crate system. We didn't know exactly how we were going to get the runes, if they were going to be attached to quests, if they were going to be like objects that you find out in the world. We didn't know. And so one of the things that Blizzard needs to do with each season of SOD is keeping some things under wraps. So this isn't really a particular thing that they should add, but more of like a mentality that they should have going into the future seasons. Yes, tell us that in Season 2, for example, Fellwood is going to be like the new PvP zone, but don't tell us, for example, that in Fellwood, if you do these certain things, you will like spawn a world boss or something. Yeah, maybe tell us that, okay, each class is going to get 5 new runes, with the next season of SOD, but don't tell us that we can also discover those findable new talent options that I mentioned earlier in the video. That's just a completely, brand new thing that we were not expecting. Bring something unexpected and unannounced with each season of SOD just to surprise all of us. I think that would be cool. Number 9, a new profession, Bard. Classic WoW is unique in many ways, and one of the things that makes Classic WoW unique is its community element. Whenever you log into Classic WoW, you are pretty much guaranteed after a certain level to end up in a group with several people or just one other person for a quest, for a dungeon, for something. You really can't escape the group element of Classic WoW, which is one reason why the game is so special. So create a profession that actually capitalizes on this. In my opinion, it could be the Bard. Now, this is something I've talked about in past videos over the past 4 or 5 years, but have a bard profession very similar to Star Wars Galaxy's Entertainer, where a bard can stand in like an inn or in a city or just on the road somewhere, and they can play music and play different instruments that they unlock over time, and you can actually sit and listen to a bard. And by sitting and listening to a bard, you will actually get rested experience that you can actually watch slowly increasing over time the longer that you are sitting there and listening to this person's music. Now, obviously, most people are just going to walk up to this bard, for example, sit there and not say a word, but while you're sitting there for 10 minutes or so waiting for your entire experience bar to become rested, this is an opportunity for you to sit down and talk to your fellow adventurers in Azeroth and be like, so guys, like, what's the plan? Or like, how are you guys enjoying this? Or it's just an opportunity for social interaction. And I think that's something that Classic WoW has always done well. It doesn't force you to socially interact, but it gives you all these opportunities to do so that just kind of naturally encourages you to do it. So maybe having a profession like Bard that brings people together would just add to that. And number 10, I saved the best for last, but before I go into it, I just want to say we are nearing 500,000 subscribers on Nixxiom, so if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. I, of course, would appreciate a like on the video to help with the algorithm, but let's just dive in and let's talk about number 10. Number 10, a weapon of legend. A long time ago in World of Warcraft's history, back in original Classic WoW, players for years were searching for how to get a certain legendary weapon that existed in the data files of the game, but nobody knew how to get it. This weapon, of course, was the Ashbringer. Now, in Naxxramas, you could get the corrupted Ashbringer from the Four Horsemen fight by killing Mograine, and this corrupted Ashbringer triggered events in the world, like, for example, if you went to Scarlet Monastery, all the Scarlet Crusaders would kneel to you, and it would trigger this big roleplay event with Mograine at the end of the Cathedral instance. But the means of purifying the corrupted Ashbringer, the means of getting the legendary purified Ashbringer sword, nobody knew how to get it. Websites were created for gathering clues about it, forum posts, discussions, videos, you name it, and yet the Ashbringer remained elusive. To be fair, we don't even know if it was actually possible to get the Ashbringer back in original Classic WoW. Maybe it was. We just literally don't know how to get it. Like, no one knows. But the point is, in Season of Discovery, the final season, if it wasn't obtainable, make it obtainable. In fact, some people have even suggested on my stream, why not make a legendary weapon for every class that is hidden in Season of Discovery? I mean, why not? The thing is, the Ashbringer. The Ashbringer is like, even though it's not an obtainable weapon in the game, so we think, even though it's not, the Ashbringer is like a symbol of Classic WoW. The untouchable symbol of this old version of the game, of the old lore and storytelling and mysteries that Azeroth offered. And so maybe finally giving us the means to get that Ashbringer, that might be a really cool thing to add into the final season of SOD. Guys, all these ideas, I mean, some of them you might think are cool, some of them you might think are terrible. Really, anything is possible. I mean, this is Classic Plus. Blizzard could give us anything in the future seasons of SOD, and I really hope that they continue to listen to player feedback as this experiment proceeds forward. Guys, thank you for watching the video. Leave any suggestions down below that you might have, and I'll see you all online.